For as long as popular video game franchises have existed, there have been fans who wish to go the extra mile by getting a tattoo related to the game, and Halo games are no exception. Sometimes a quick Google search can give you a good idea of what you'd like, and other times it can lead you astray. I like to start the story off from the beginning, 4 years ago. During this time, I was working on the Project Contingency team, which is a fan made Halo game, and was redesigning logos from the Halo franchise. I had begun work on the ODST insignia from Halo 3 ODST, and this was shortly after Forward Unto Dawn's release, and I had recalled a really sleek ODST tattoo on the back of the character Cadman Lasky. Rather than stick to what had been in game prior, I decided to take a shot at recreating it based on the blurry captures I found online. But this is where things started to fall apart. Here was the final version that I created, and here was the actual illustration used in the film. Big thanks, by the way, to Imperium Star for getting me this file a few years later. Here are the three major issues, though. One, I had poor references. I was working with extremely small screenshots from the film and had to make guesses as where to place certain elements. I don't know why, but at the time I had assumed many of the lines were extremely jagged, which turned out to clearly not be the case. Second was rushed work. I spent little time cleaning up the design after I created it, despite some critique from friends. My lack of skill designing vector graphics at the time also contributed to the poor end result. And finally, I used Photoshop. This is a big no-no for vector graphics, as it just makes life way more difficult than simply using Illustrator. I've definitely learned my lesson since then. However, the story doesn't quite end there. A quick Google search of ODST tattoo will not only result in the original design I created, but also a dedicated few got the design tattooed on themselves. At first, I'd mistaken them all to be the Halo Waypoint ODST insignia, which seems to be a modified version of my own, but I don't believe existed at the time I created mine, although I could be mistaken. Upon closer inspection on some of the images, they were an exact match to the design I had made all those years ago. I can only assume they believed they had found the actual Forward Unto Dawn ODST insignia and wanted to get it as a tattoo. First off, I'm flattered they wanted to get my replica design tattooed on themselves. I think that's really awesome and a real honor. I'm also embarrassed by it though, as I knew how little effort I put into making it, and that the real design from the film is a much better version. So to those few, thank you for choosing my work and having it tattooed on yourself, and I'm sorry if the design wasn't exactly what you had looked for or wanted. I don't know how it ever got uploaded to Pinterest, as I never fully released it anywhere, but nonetheless, it makes for a great story. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to let me know. I know it's a bit of a different format from my usual content, but I thought it'd be a fun story to share. Until next time.